What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up? How are we doing? How are we doing? Let's see here. We are live AF. Nice. Dope. Cool. Share that shit. Awesome. Well, I am happy to be back. Very happy to be back. I'm actually forgot to flip this out. Easy. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. Welcome, one and all. Oh, I am very happy to be back. I have not streamed since Friday. It's been a long weekend. It's been a lot of stuff. Now, obviously, it's Monday, and we had a pretty good day today. So let's go over everything, shall we? Let's. All right. We got a big list here. Honestly, the weekend was not filled with a ton of productivity per se, but it was filled with a lot of good stuff, some good times, and then today was a very interesting day. So I'm going to try to go through this as fast as possible and get everything out there. But we're making some fucking moves. I'm very, very excited for what's to come, and I'm having the time of my life, so it's fucking awesome. All right, so let's go through this real quick. So I'm going to go through Saturday and Sunday. Like I said, nothing crazy, but we're going to look at it. So worked at Ray's on Saturday. Tough. Not something that I want to do, but it's something that I have to do. And it takes away from some of the time of the things that I want to do and have to do. But again, sometimes you got to do that in a family business. So worked there until like 3 o'clock. Went to Quaker Steak and Lube, which is actually kind of funny because I think they're probably going to go out of business pretty soon. There's only like one left. I think the one in Cranberry's closed. The one in Robinson is the one that Amanda and I went to, and it was good, but it was just interesting because that, Max and Irma's, and a bunch of other places, in addition to like the COVID stuff that has happened, they weren't doing well before. So if you haven't been to Quaker Steak and Lube and you like Quaker Steak and Lube, I would recommend going. Then Amanda and I came back and we filmed a 23rd episode of AM and the PM. That'll be up on Thursday at 3. So that was a pretty good time there, about an hour or so. It's a pretty good episode, I would say. We talk about our inspirations. So Amanda has been on a fitness inspiration. I've been on like business, entrepreneurship, finance, all this other stuff. So there's some good content there. Like I said, Thursday at 3. I felt like trash. Amanda was here. We filmed that episode, and then she left, and I felt like garbage from all the food I ate at Quaker Steak and Lube. So that is a problem of mine, that I just eat too much fucking food on big meals like that, and I felt like absolute trash, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go to sleep. So I missed the stream, obviously, and luckily I was not actually sick or anything. I just ate too much, and I prevailed. Didn't die. That's good. Didn't throw up. Didn't do anything. Just had a good night's sleep and was fine on Sunday. And then Sunday I worked at Ray's again, and then came home, and I think I played like a little Warzone or something like that. And then we went to Texas Day, Brazil, us and a bunch of our friends, and that was a great time. Another thing too is like, I'm not trying to just talk about random places that I ate, but this is interesting. Texas Day, Brazil, if you haven't been there, first of all, it's amazing. Meat is tremendous. The salad bar and everything is great. But it is different, given the COVID time. It is not just normally like you can go up to the salad bar and all that. Well, now they have to like bring you the shit and you just kind of stay seated. So it's a little different, but it's still a good experience. So I would highly recommend that still. And then also like that was at 8:30. So like I got home at like 11, and I was tired. I was tired at AF then. And I was very tired and very full. 2 days of a lot of eating, not good. And I think I just played some Warzone or something like that, and I didn't stream. But again, weekend, nothing crazy. That's why we're doing this now. And you saw how fast I ran through that. So there was nothing super groundbreaking. It was kind of like a chill weekend. Now, today, Very interesting day. Decent amount of things to talk about. It's all jumbled up as far as the order because there's a lot of things that I want to talk about that are bigger, and I kind of try to leave that towards the end. Played some hockey, playoff game. We lost. It's okay. Happens. The one thing that I would say about that, fuck. Zach, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you could have, you guys almost won. You almost won. You didn't need me. Saw you guys played well. But yeah, I could have went there, but that's a pretty far drive, man. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm happy though that it was a decent time at least, even though maybe the refs screwed you over there. But I saw some highlights. That was good. Maybe next year. But yeah, I did play hockey today. We lost. Oh well, it happens. Just happy to get out there, run around and stuff. What else do we do? This one was kind of interesting. So we deactivated a rental property, actually 2 rental properties that my mom has, and like on Zillow and stuff, 'cause she like found renters or whatever. Again, small thing, but like this is really interesting because later in life I firmly intend to have rental properties, either like myself or like be a business thing or whatever. And we'll see kind of where that goes. I'm getting some experience from that, from like my family and stuff having that. And 1,500, buddy. You can't drop the ball there. You gotta scoop that, bud. But those Iowans are probably pretty good hecklers though. So I don't blame you. What else we got? So another interesting one. So actually, this is actually for something else. But I bought. Let me try to remember how this actually goes. Let me put this here. Let me just kind of put this in order the way that I want to talk about this. So I'm not sure how other people operate without a calendar. Just in general. I don't know how people operate without a calendar because I was like going through some of my stuff today and like I have a bunch of hockey games at different places around Pittsburgh and all that sort of shit. And yeah, so thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if I would call this revolutionary, but I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the kind words there. We're always trying to get better, so thank you so much. But what's it saying here? So I don't know how people operate without a calendar. I have shit going on all over the place, but like, I mean, I think some people obviously do just kind of have no idea what's going on. I would highly recommend like Google Calendar or something like that. I actually have like layers and layers for all of the things. Like it's actually really cool if you have like multiple things going on. If you have like a spouse or a girlfriend or something, you can make like a shared calendar so you can both see that. Amanda and I would literally be totally fucked if we didn't have that because we always have things going on and like we want to make sure that like we know like I'll give you a perfect example. She is scheduling all the AM and the PM episodes now with our guests. If she didn't put that in the calendar, then I could potentially schedule like an FBP episode over that or something like that. And it's just it would be a total shit show if we didn't have that. So highly recommend a shared calendar if you have a spouse or somebody like a partner or anything. And then also if you have like a business or if you have literally anything, even if you play a sport or something, you can do layers to your calendar. I'll show an example one day or something like that. But I have like a layer for Fueled by Progress. I have a layer for Amanda and my stuff. I have another layer for AM and the PM. The cool part about that is you're keeping everything categorized and organized. And when you have as much shit as I have going on in like different sectors of your life, it's definitely hugely beneficial. So I would highly recommend that. So I don't know if anybody checked out my Instagram today. I will leave a link in the description here because I always like to plug shit because that's fun. So occasionally I get a follower or two from this. But there is my Instagram, and if you watch my story from a day to day, you kind of see some fun things. And on my story today, there was like an email that I wrote. And I actually wrote that to my aunt because she was asking about some of the things I was doing, but that wasn't the point of it. The point was I was kind of brainstorming and writing a lot of the things down about what I have going on. So what I mean is, I've talked about this before. I have too many things. I have MJS Industries is the company that I own, and then it owns Szymanski Media, it owns Fueled by Progress, it owns AM and the PM, it owns Find It Tech, it owns half of Zenith Properties Group. So I wrote this big email that had like all this stuff in it, and it had like a lot of context about what each of those things were, like in a sense, like, and like what each one of those businesses is gonna do, and I just kind of laid it out there. Just because I needed to do it for myself, and like I said, I just passed that information that information along. So what I did was I did a couple things today. Actually, I decided that I was just going to buy SzymanskiMedia.com, and that isn't a website in and of itself right now, but it just forwards over to my website, MarkJosephSzymanski.com. I thought that was kind of cool. Domains are $12 freaking a year. And if you can scoop something like that up that you're, confident in, you have like a business named it or whatever the case may be, you should do that. I would highly recommend that. So I picked that up. That was, a nice purchase there. I had been thinking about that for a while, but I always had like the Mark Joseph Szymanski thing. So, it was just another thing that I did today. But I'm happy about that because I'll talk about that for a quick second. Tomorrow, actually, I have a meeting with a friend of mine that wants to start like businesses and do something, along those lines, something to the degree of what I've been doing so far. And he is interested in all the steps, right? The steps of, making a business and, doing all of the things that you have to do, right? I guess LLCs and bank accounts and all this stuff, and just like ideas, of businesses. So it's a lot of process work when you think about all that, but I really like building that process. We've talked about this before. I have I'll just show this real quick. Like I have this document here that is not done yet, but it is a big document about all the things that, how to make a business effectively, right? So like these steps that I've gone through like 5-6 times of, thinking of a name, getting phone number, like all this sort of stuff. And this is again a work in progress. So it's kind of coming along, but forming an LLC, applying for an EIN, operating agreement, money stuff, like finding a domain name, email, all these things. And I'm really trying to refine this process because it's something that I feel strongly about, and I've done it a bunch of times, and I think that I could provide some good value for people. So I have like what I'm calling kind of like a business consultation meeting, and it's basically going to pretty much, I think, kind of go over most of this stuff with this individual, and I'm super psyched about it. Like this is something that I really, really enjoy sitting down with people and talking to them about because, like I said, I feel like I have some experience here and I can help other people with this. And if you're interested in business, then I think you should try it. And this something like this I know is going to help. So very excited about that. And that is to tie into what I was just saying. I really think that Szymanski Media long term is going to be the things that I do because they're the things that I love the most. I love making content like this. I love live streaming. I love talking. I love public speaking about things that I know and experience. I love that consulting aspect of it. And I really think that's what Szymanski Media is going to be. So I decided to buy this domain name, and I decided to, think about a lot of ways where I can kind of do some of that stuff, like consulting with people and just about all the stuff that I've done so far, because I think that's going to be a good channel to get all that out on, all the MJS stuff and everything like that. I think it's going to be dope. So we shall see how that goes. But that's exciting. Always exciting when you get a new thing like that. And this is the thing. I cannot remember right now what made me think of these two words. But I think it was this. Wrote this big ass email, and you can see it on my Instagram story. Wrote this big ass email, and it had a bunch of things in it, right? It had like all the stuff, like the web design, the clothing, the podcasting, the business consulting, all that stuff. Wrote it all down, and I said, and my idea was, not everyone should watch all this shit. Like, not everyone should go to everything. There's probably not one person in the world that gives a shit about all the things that I've gone on. That's understandable, and that should be the case. What should happen is like, maybe you're interested in Fuel by Progress, or maybe you're interested in the business consulting, or maybe you're interested in the website stuff. Like, they're all very targeted niches. They're each their own niche with very targeted audiences. So in the email, like I said, if you're interested in this, or if anybody, the template would be like, if you're interested in this, or anybody that's interested in these things, feel free to pass the information along. I'm always interested in trying to broaden the reach. And one of the thoughts that came through my mind is like, well, maybe somebody will see this and they'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, you do websites? Like, I know this one company or something that builds websites. Like, that didn't happen to me, but that's happened to me before. And it's like, I don't want a fucking job. Like, I don't want to build websites for a fucking company. I don't want to, like, help. Like, I don't want to be a podcaster. This is another perfect example. This is a perfect example. My mom the other day, she goes, hang on. Jesus. My mom the other day, she sees some of the podcast and she's like, maybe you should be an interviewer. What? Like I don't want to be an interviewer for like a radio station or like a talk show or something. Like, cause she's seen some of the Fueled by Progress episodes. Like, yeah, I mean, I enjoy having conversations with people. I'd like to kind of interview people, not really just have a talk. It's like, I don't want that. I feel like when in the position that I'm in right now, I have a fuck ton of fulfillment and I have a tremendous 100% freedom. Like, I don't want to have a job because I know that having a job ultimately limits those two things. Maybe it doesn't limit fulfillment for some people, but it definitely limits freedom. Like, I want to be my own boss. Like, if I don't want to work today for some reason, or if I want to call it short or whatever, then I have the freedom to do that. Not saying that I want to do that often or whatever, but like, if I have something to do, then I want to be able to do it. And the reason that you have that freedom to do that is because you have built something that either runs on its own, or you're in a position where you don't need to make an extra, I don't know, fucking couple bucks or whatever that day, or what, whatever the case is. Like, you've just created the freedom. Is exactly where I'm going. I don't want to do this bullshit where like you got to go to a 9 to 5, or you got to be certain places at certain times. Like, I'm responsible and I have meetings and I make those fucking things, but I will definitely let you know as we're almost done. But those are the type of things. I don't want to sacrifice either of those two things because I'm just so happy right now. I'm stressed in a lot of times because I'm doing a lot of things, trying to make money and stuff like that. But my level of freedom and level of fulfillment have never been higher. And I'm just trying to build as fast as I can so I can start building like a life for myself and Amanda, our future kids, and all that sort of stuff. And I know that it's going in the right direction. It just takes fucking time. So that is just one thing that I thought of, is like, I don't want a job in any of these fields. I want to create these things and ultimately create jobs for other people, because I'm going to need a lot of fucking help here pretty soon. So yeah. So I'll talk about this real quick. YouTube knowledge. Like, I asked a question to somebody, a guy that I highly respect in the web development space, but he makes a lot of good YouTube videos. His CPM on YouTube is $54 fucking dollars. That means he makes $54 per 1,000 views. That's at least what like the numbers come out to. That's fucking absurd. So I learned that the other day, and that's crazy. I need to start making more content, and there's so much more to that. But like, the level of YouTube knowledge is literally, like I said, it's just crazy. I'll try to summarize. I'll let them know when we get hop on. I don't know, probably in 10 minutes we're gonna be on Warzone. Everybody come play. Mark J. Szymanski, that's my gamer tag. For YouTube though, crazy shit on YouTube. And what I mean is, if there's certain niches per se that make a ton of money, finance, business, like all these ones are a lot of money. And it's because advertisers are more willing to advertise towards that audience that watches that shit. Makes sense. If you're watching finance content, then maybe you have a couple bucks and maybe you want to buy some shit. So that's really interesting to me. I want to make more content, not just on those things, but like everything. And I think that it's just going to continue to hopefully trend in the positive direction. But as we continue to grow here, I think you need like 1,000 subscribers for that. To start monetizing directly on there. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it just takes time. But I watched this one YouTube video today. It was just like I said, it's just crazy the amount of information that you can learn, and in ways that you can kind of set up your channel to make more money. And I'm not trying to go like all in on YouTube by any means. I just want multiple streams of passive income and multiple streams of recurring revenue. And I think that YouTube is going to be a great one because of just the type of person that I am. I love to talk. I love to do all these things. And if I can get more help like creating the videos, that would be great long term. But again, right now we're in this position where I don't feel like we can take on too much of that stuff. Now, I'm going to segue into the last topic here. But I actually need to like preface it. So I was working today, and actually one thing, if you know anything about the shit that I've been talking about, Monday is finance day, and on this list you do not see finances. That is because I didn't even get to the finances today because I was working on some stuff in the morning. I was just constructing that email and stuff, and I was going to work my way into the finance stuff because I love doing that and I needed to do it, but it didn't get done today, so tomorrow morning it is. But I was working, and I got this message right after I finished that email. Got this message from my boy, Szymanski. If you don't know who he is, you should go look at Fomos. I think it's fomos.shop. I hope it's up right now. So he is the owner of this website. I'm not sure if they have a lot of inventory right now, but it's a clothing company. It's based here out of Pittsburgh. And he hits me up. And they're working on a huge project. I don't know how much I can say about it, but I know that they put some stuff on social media, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I think it's Chimera is how you pronounce this. And it's basically like a cool place for everybody to kind of like for creators to come and do podcasts and different things like that and record videos and all sorts of stuff. He invited me out there. It's out in like the eastern suburbs, I would say, of Pittsburgh. And we chatted. He gave me a tour of the facility. They're currently building it. Basically, they're currently completely renovating it from the ground up. And there's gonna be a ton of creators there. One of the creators is actually the founder of Illegal Apparel Company. So that's another big company in the I've never been to their website. Let's do it fucking live on stream here. Illegal Apparel. This is probably it. Yeah, so if you've ever seen this logo around Pittsburgh, I know I've seen it a few times. So like there's a bunch of other stuff there. And again, I don't want to go crazy because I don't know like exactly what the entire thing is. I just met the founder of this company today. But again, the point of this is it's kind of like a hub for a lot of creators, from whether musicians or clothing manufacturers or podcasters or videographers, like all this stuff going to be housed under this one roof, and they're literally building it from the ground up. It's an insane project. I liken it very much on a slightly smaller scale to what Christian Guzman is doing down in Texas with Alpha Land, and I'm sure that some of their inspiration came from them, but it's just dope shit, and I'm so happy that I had the opportunity, and I know those guys, and I've made those connections with a few of them. I'm happy that I had the opportunity to go down there today. And I actually kind of helped with a couple of the things. Like I was cutting some, like they're literally being the general contractor. So I was kind of like cutting some wood and screwing some stuff in and stuff like that. And it's dope. I'm very excited for what's to come there. It should be completed here very soon in about I think 1 or 2 weeks. And it's just dope. I am, how do I put this? Like the Fueled by Progress stuff is awesome, and that is what I want to do, and I know that I can learn a lot from those guys about like the clothing and everything like that, and like just that whole aspect of everything. And I love nothing more than having those types of conversations that I do on Fueled by Progress, and just as much I love being involved with people that are fucking ambitious and have a goal and have a mindset to just get shit done and keep moving forward. And that is just the fucking coolest thing to me. And that's just what I love to do. So when I get in those positions with those types of people, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, it could be business, could be anything. I just really enjoy that. So I'm very happy that I made those connections. I'm very happy that those dudes are so cool, and they were so graciously let me in to check the place out and help and stuff like that. So I hope to be there a lot. I hope that they make it dope. I hope they make it, if as more things come out and they finish everything, I'd be more than happy to share all that stuff on my channels. And I'm just very excited for everything that's to come. So, but that was a very interesting part of my day, and it was totally unexpected. And the last thing that I want to say about that is actually a really important thing. So, last thing I want to say about that specifically. Let me get this back here. Okay. An older version of me, or I guess a younger version of me, right? Like a version of me from far before, right? And somehow in the past, when I was less mature and less willing to take opportunities, I want to say, and less willing to network, would have received that opportunity to go down there like into a relatively like unknown position, right? Like I've seen Sean a couple times, and I've never been to that location and stuff like that. A less mature, less open-minded person that I used to be probably would have been like, nah, I can't do it today or whatever. And we didn't do anything crazy. Like I said, we just kind of talked. They were working on stuff. I kind of helped them out as much as I could. And I know nothing about fucking general contracting. Okay. I screwed some boards and cut some wood. But the point that I'm making, and the thing that I've tried my damnedest to do more of, is take some fucking, they're not even risks, not even chances, but take some fucking, like, seize the opportunities that you have. If somebody asks you, do you want to do something? Do you want to meet some people? Do you want to do this, that? I just want to say yes. Like, just try to say yes as much as possible to those opportunities. Like, be careful. Don't do anything ridiculously dangerous. But what I'm saying is, like if somebody asked you, hey, do you want to come to a fucking event and meet some people? Just fucking say yes. Like, I'm trying to do that more and more because I want to get out there. The only way for me to get this message of all these things that I want to do and like try to build up some of these businesses, the clothing, the podcast, is to meet more people and to get in front of more people, because I'm starting to get so confident in my abilities and the company's abilities and the future of these companies and the people that we're going to have. I know that what we're doing is good. I know it. I fucking know it. I know that the messaging is good. I know that the clothes are going to be fucking dope. I know that the podcasts are good. I know that my knowledge is pretty fucking decent, even though I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a fucking, finance guru. I know, though, that a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is working, and it's just slowly but surely. So I want to share that with people, and I want to make sure that any opportunity I get to get in front of people and to talk and to ask them questions about the shit that they have going on, because I'm genuinely interested and I'm always looking to learn. And I just love hearing, like, I talked to Frank, the founder of Illegal Apparel. Like, I'm fucking genuinely interested how he's only 22 and he's been running that thing for 6 years. Like, what the fuck? Like that's crazy to me. So like those types of questions and those types of conversations are just everything to me. And I just want to grab all that information and then try to bring, put my own spin on it, like I always say, and implement on it and try to give it to other people that are coming up right behind us. So I'm very excited. And that would be kind of my best advice, is to take those fucking opportunities when you get them, because I trust you. Trust me when I say this. If you take the fucking opportunities, you'll get more opportunities. If you don't take the opportunities, you're not going to get more opportunities. I know I'm starting to realize that very quickly, that if you constantly say no to shit, people are going to either realize that or like karma or whatever, but like people aren't going to fucking ask you. It's kind of like with hockey too. I kind of think of it the same way. Like I don't try to say yes to every game, but like if I can, fuck, So that's what I mean, is if you say yes, more good things will come. I truly believe that. But if you consistently say no, of course you can't say yes to everything. But if you consistently say no, it's gonna be rough. You're not gonna get as many of those opportunities. You're gonna have to work way harder for them. So that's my best advice. That's what I've experienced so far, and I'm very happy with the way things are going. I thank you all so much for the consistent support. I know that we're growing slowly but surely. And again, as always, if you have any questions on any of the shit that I'm doing or any of the stuff that you want to do, I'll do my absolute best to answer. I'm no psychiatrist. I'm no licensed business consultant. I'm no financial advisor, but I think I've learned a lot of shit, and I'm more than happy to pass that along to whoever is genuinely interested in learning more. So with that, thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely talk to you tomorrow. See you.